It's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, like all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Jaguar,
Sue me. Stop coming after outlets. Stop coming after reporters. Stop coming after platforms. You got my number. Call me. Please. Sue me. I want to go to court. And when it's time for discovery, I guess we can all find out what I really know.
Everybody remembers that moment when Elon Musk casually hinted that certain powerful celebrity circles weren't as clean as they pretended to be, and the internet laughed it off like it was just another wild billionaire take. Back then, people said Elon was reaching, clout chasing, or just bored and stirring the pot. But fast forward to now, and suddenly nobody's laughing anymore. A leaked list is floating around, and the names tied to Sean Combs got the entire industry moving real quiet, real careful, and real nervous. What makes this moment so heavy isn't just the list itself, it's the timing, because everything Elon hinted at years ago is starting to line up way too clean to be coincidence. Folks online are saying this ain't random, this ain't gossip, and this definitely ain't a clout play anymore. The energy feels different, like doors are closing behind the scenes while phones are blowing up in private. The leaked list didn't just pop up out of nowhere either, and that's the part people keep missing. According to insiders, this thing has been circulating quietly for months, being passed around by lawyers, fixers, and industry power players who already knew something ugly was coming. Names on that list aren't just random celebrities either. They're people who moved close to Diddy during key moments, benefited from his reach, and suddenly leveled up in ways that never fully made sense. Now people are rewatching old interviews, old party clips, old red carpet moments, and realizing certain connections weren't accidental at all. You can feel the shift online too, because instead of jokes and memes, it's silence, deleted posts, and comments turned off. When powerful people stop talking all at once, that's usually when the truth starts breathing. What's wild is how Elon fits into all of this without even trying to be the main character. He never dropped documents, never named names, never claimed to have receipts, but his words planted a seed that's growing real fast now.
It's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Your birthday party, am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
It'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have you been to his parties?
Back then, he said people should look closer at who's tied to who, and now folks are doing exactly that with magnifying glasses and timelines. The list reportedly connects entertainers, executives, influencers, and even behind-the-scenes power brokers who help protect certain reputations while rumors stayed buried. That's why the reaction feels so stiff and controlled, because once a list like this exists, even if it's unofficial, it changes how everyone moves. Well, you can't unsee patterns once they're lined up, and the internet is lining them up frame by frame. What really got people shook is how fast the industry response kicked in. Publicists went silent, appearances got canceled, interviews mysteriously rescheduled, and certain celebs stopped posting overnight. That's not normal behavior unless there's smoke close to the fire. Fans started noticing how some names connected to Diddy suddenly pivoted their image, pushing positivity, spirituality, or business rebrands out of nowhere. That type of switch up don't happen unless somebody knows a storm is coming. Meanwhile, Elon hasn't said a word, which somehow makes it louder than anything else. When someone drops a hint, gets laughed at, then watches the world catch up years later, that silence hits different. People are also questioning how deep this list really goes, because if even half the names being whispered are accurate, this ain't just a scandal, it's a network built on favors, access, silence, and protection, where everybody wins as long as nobody talks. That's why so many folks believe this moment is bigger than Diddy alone, because lists like this don't exist without systems backing them. Elon's original comments weren't about one person. They were about culture, power, and unchecked influence. And now that message looks way more serious than anyone expected. The streets are saying this leak cracked a door that was never supposed to open.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave.
You have said since really right after the that it was P. Diddy who you.
I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to it was just male machismo and bravado at first.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said it was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
The most uncomfortable part for the industry is that the public isn't buying denials anymore. People don't want statements. They want explanations, timelines, and accountability. Every time someone shrugs it off or calls it fake, the pressure doubles, because history already showed how long truth can be delayed but never erased. Elon being right again isn't about ego. It's about patterns repeating while powerful people underestimate how much folks remember. This list didn't just expose names, it exposed fear, and fear travels faster than any rumor. And right now, fear is moving heavy through rooms we'll never see on camera. Now, the real tension comes from what happens after a list like this leaks, because it forces everyone connected to it to start making moves. Some folks are lawyering up quietly, others are leaning on old favors, and a few are scrambling to distance themselves before the spotlight swings their way. The streets are saying this is why certain celebs suddenly don't remember past connections, acting like photos, parties, and collaborations never happened. But the internet never forgets, and receipts don't age out. People are stitching timelines together, pulling archive posts, and asking why so many careers intersected with Sean Combs right before major jumps in status, money, or protection. That pattern alone has folks raising eyebrows real high. What's making this leak hit harder than previous rumors is that nobody's aggressively denying it. Usually when fake lists circulate, you get loud pushback, threats, and legal warnings, but this time it's quiet, too quiet. Silence like that feels strategic, like people are being told to sit still and wait it out. Insiders say some names on that list already knew they
counters. You were involved with Cassie Ventura directly in those rooms, as you've testified. Were you ever involved with Sean Diddy Combs? Did you two ever have an interaction in those encounters?
No, actually, not one conversation, not even eye contact.
Really?
Yeah.
Did that surprise you?
Well, it was told to me immediately, like on the first encounter, that I was instructed to not look at him, not acknowledge him, not have any interactions with.
By Cassie?
Yeah, by Cassie. So those were the instructions.
J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened, because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury.
So she talks about in those years how they were in a public relationship. And she says she came to know a completely different person. She says that Diddy motivated her. He believed in her. He helped her grow both professionally and personally. And she says that she's writing this letter because she believes it's important to the court to know the side of Diddy that isn't always seen or spoke about.
That's why certain exits from music, film, or public life suddenly make sense in hindsight. People weren't retiring, they were relocating their risk. And through all this chaos, Elon Musk still hasn't added a single word to the fire. No tweets, no jokes, no follow-ups, nothing. That's what really gets under people's skin because it makes it clear he doesn't need validation anymore. Folks are now replaying his old comments and realizing he wasn't guessing, he was warning. He wasn't talking about gossip. He was talking about power structures that protect themselves until they collapse under their own weight. That kind of foresight is why people keep saying he's right again, even when nobody wants him to be. Another layer making this situation messy is how many industries overlap on that list. Music, fashion, tech, entertainment, nightlife, and even business investments are all tangled together. That's why people say this ain't a single scandal. It's a chain reaction waiting to snap. When one name falls, it threatens to pull others down with it, and everybody knows it. That's why the mood shifted from denial to damage control almost overnight. Nobody wants to be the first domino, especially when the public is watching closer than ever. Fans are also noticing how media coverage feels cautious. Headlines are vague, wording is soft, and certain names are carefully avoided.
Katrina, good morning to you. I understand you were inside the courtroom during Ventura's testimony. The transcripts are just horrific. How did she hold up?
Errol, she broke down on the stand yesterday as she was testifying, and that was one of the most striking moments of the day when she was moved to tears as she was giving, as you said, this very graphic and pornographic testimony. The moment when she broke down was as she was talking about how angry he would get with her sometimes, but also when she was asked about whether or not she enjoyed these, they were called freak-offs, the sexual encounters that she engaged in with him.
Like, it's a strange dynamic to have Cassie be as visually like stunning and is, and then you know, a part of you is like, I really want to go in and do this, but then the other part of you is like, this mother in the corner over here dictating how to do this and how to do that is like really like pulling me in the opposite direction. So you take that and then you add another guy to the mix, and it just gets real strange, man, especially once he becomes like active and you fall off and you just sitting there watching like, yo, like it's just weird, bro. I don't know how else to explain that, man. It is weird.
If a story like this doesn't take into account the person being interviewed, does it then become fake news?
Well, it's pretty one-sided, and I don't want to get into that phrase, but I feel if you don't give the person the chance to speak for themselves and respond, I mean, this is a pretty established newspaper. You should give the person the right to respond to what your allegations are.
That tells you pressure is being applied behind closed doors because media doesn't move scared unless someone powerful is leaning on them. But independent voices, bloggers, and online investigators aren't holding back at all. They're asking questions mainstream outlets won't touch, and those questions are spreading fast. Once the narrative leaves controlled spaces, it becomes impossible to cage again. What really scares the industry is that people aren't shocked anymore. They're angry. Angry that warnings were ignored, angry that power kept winning, and angry that truth always gets treated like a rumor until it explodes. This list didn't shock anyone who's been paying attention. It confirmed suspicions people were told to stop talking about.
Let's talk about the physical. If you're okay. Are you okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So obviously you terminated baby one because you loved him. Mm-hmm. How long after you guys started dating is when did the physical start?
The first time it ever happened, which was not even like that long into the relationship, because I met him in February, and then it was probably like the beginning of May, because we were at Meek's Mill's birthday.
Okay.
Let me introduce you to my mom. Call Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
You know, we all have stories. Seriously, we all have stories. Mine is horrific and only 5 people know it. And I probably will never tell it.
Why didn't you say something then?
Because we just want to live. We want to be happy. And we really want to forget the trauma.
That's why the reaction feels heavier, darker, and more serious this time around. Nobody's joking, nobody's clowning, and nobody's defending like before. At the end of the day, this moment proves one thing loud and clear. You can laugh off a warning, but you can't laugh off evidence when it starts lining up. Whether every name on that list sticks or not, the damage is already done because trust is gone. People are side-eyeing alliances, questioning success stories, and rethinking who really benefited from staying quiet. And once that kind of doubt settles in, it never fully leaves. The industry knows it, the public feels it, and that's why this leak hit like an earthquake instead of a rumor.